lot of woodworkers listen to music in their shops. I know I do. From country to classical, I love it all. And I've got a pretty good sound system in my shop. But you know what's even better? Going to a concert. A concert is a Gestalt experience. Gestalt just means the experience is greater than the sum of the parts. I remember my last concert so well. It was fantastic. It promised to be a great performance, and tickets were hard to come by. When I did get tickets, I was thrilled. That was part of the Gestalt experience. As each day passed waiting for the concert, I got more and more excited. When the day finally came, I actually spent a little time figuring out what I was going to wear. A nice suit seemed to make sense for a classical concert, so I got dressed up. Fact of the matter is, for a down-to-earth woodworker, I looked pretty good. Well, I got in my car and I drove downtown, and lo and behold, I found a great parking place. When I got out, I joined a throng of people that were all headed into the same concert. They were all excited too. Well, I found my seat, and it was outstanding. It was beginning to be that real Gestalt experience. I could hear the musicians backstage tuning their instruments. It was fantastic. And then they started to file on stage. The concertmaster played a note on her violin, then the oboist, then the rest of the orchestra in unison. It was spellbinding. And then the conductor came on stage to thunderous applause. And when the applause died away, he tapped his baton, and the whole hall fell silent. You could hear a pin drop. When those first notes came forth, I got a chill down my spine, and frankly, I still do, just thinking about it. It was a true Gestalt experience. The totality of the experience did far outweigh just the sum of the parts, not unlike the experience I had when I got my SawStop saw. I believe every tool buying experience for every woodworker should be just like that, where the totality of the experience is greater than the sum of the parts. My Gestalt experience started with planning. I needed to see if it would fit. I made little drawings, tried it out in a number of locations, till I figured out that yes, I could make the saw fit. I found excellent information on SawStop's website with a plethora of specifications available. Oscar came to help me do my research too. Then I found additional information on the Highland Woodworking website, but I still had some questions. All it took was a call to Highland Woodworking to get all my questions answered. The folks at Highland Woodworking knew everything there was to know about the SawStop saw. They filled me in on every detail and answered every question. I couldn't figure out the difference between the integrated mobile base and the industrial mobile base. Well, they set me straight and helped me pick the accessories that made the SawStop the perfect saw for my shop. It was a Gestalt experience. I placed my order right then. You know what? I got an email almost immediately acknowledging my order. And shortly after that, I got another email giving me the details of the shipment. That's fast. On the appointed day, at the appointed hour, a truck pulled into my driveway and a beautifully wrapped pallet came through my door. Gestalt. As I began to unwrap the pallet and open the boxes, I realized this was no ordinary piece of equipment. This was something special. There was a level of care and pride in every aspect of the packaging that was simply unprecedented in the woodworking world. Then I found the instruction manuals. Gestalt. There is just nothing like the SawStop instruction manuals. When a company spends the time and money to make your total experience this complete, there's obviously some significant pride in the product they produce. Assembly was a breeze. In fact, it was easy. The innovative way in which the saw is shipped makes it possible to do the assembly operation by yourself. Parts are identified meticulously. There's just no way to get confused. Within a couple of hours, I had the saw assembled, positioned, and ready to make my first cut. Now, I expected, like most tools, I would then spend a day or two tweaking things until I got it just right. No, the SawStop was ready to go. My first cut and the cuts I'm making today are all the same: square, straight, and true. And using the SawStop saw is fantastic. Changing blades is easy. The quick release and sure-fire alignment of the riving knife is outstanding. A dado stack can be installed just as easily as a dado stack in any other saw, and changing out the brake cartridge only takes a half a minute or so. The cast iron top is dead flat. The fence is square. The zero clearance inserts are the best design I've ever used. The big giant paddle switch is perfectly located. The miter gauge is as good as any saw-supplied miter gauge on the market, and the T-style miter gauge slots are the best for installing your own homemade sleds and jigs. Dust collection is fantastic. When you can use the dust collection blade guard, your dust collection efforts will get even better. Oh, and did I mention? The SawStop has this amazing technology that stops and retracts the blade the instant it contacts flesh. If the worst was ever to happen, it'll probably save your finger. Folks, Gestalt matters. The experience of acquiring a new machine should be an experience that's greater than just the sum of its parts. Between Highland Woodworking, their outstanding customer service and attention to detail, and the SawStop saw and all the sincere value it brings to your shop, you're gonna get that total Gestalt experience. A total experience far greater than the sum of its parts. Enjoy.